The last time we left off, you all had completed your mission through being runners. You had made your way to Fort Snow Range. You had braved the wilderness, made many stops, had a few adventures, some with hags, some with the giant snake potential god, demigod, who knows? And had an encounter with a society, a secret question mark society. Who knows? Nonetheless, you had made it to Fort Snow Range, and in doing so, you encountered the Joke Weaver, a potential never ever who had put some sort of arcane spell on the fortress. Given the choice between fighting the Joke Weaver and proceeding on with his challenge, you decide to face the Joke Weaver head on, into which you came out quite a bit on top. You kind of steamrolled him a little bit. Um,
Mhm.
but nonetheless, you made it through and were able to do the thing. And so, where we pick up is it has been about 2 days after the event. You all had managed to get the individuals who are in some sort of magical sleep into the barracks, and you had found that not only on top of that was everyone asleep. But while those in the caravan had been relatively safe, including Michael and the others, one was not so lucky, as Arcanus has fallen into a slumber. And so we will start off with that, in that you find yourself huddled in a group, ready to discuss your next course of action. And so, at this point, if there's anything you wish to discuss, now would be the time.
Hmm.
Uh, we've been here for a couple days, so what's everyone's plan? We got some unconscious people who can't take care of themselves. Arcanus is also out.
Hannes is out. Beer's refusing to talk to anyone until he gets paid.
Um, I presume that while we were victorious, good stretch, victorious over the jester, he did not exactly leave without still messing with things. I wonder if interloping further would be the right cause of action to take to a still help the rest of these people, help our friend Arcanus. Uh, I don't I don't see how if we want to remain involved, just letting him go without tracking down or figuring out what's going on with his involvement would be the next step for those who are interested in dabbling with things that probably shouldn't be dabbled.
Well, yeah, we need him to come back and wake everyone up.
Does anyone know anything about the does anyone know, or is there a place we could look into these never evers? What Why would they be out and about here in the lands of Nora?
Well, I don't know. All I know was my brother uh, had to deal with a shit ton of them in the frontier. When I heard, they were annoying, and a lot of them.
A lot as in a family, or are they like a pantheon, like our bears of Nora?
I don't know the specifics. So I don't know much. All I know is there's a lot of them, and they're all very different.
Darian, go ahead and roll me religion, please.
With a 31.
Yeah. Uh,
Nice.
so, from what you know, when it comes to the Never Ever, they are beings that have come from the land of the dead, the Neverland. Um, when Pantheon is mentioned, uh, it they don't exactly have their own pantheon per se, but there is some belief that there is almost like a hierarchy within when it comes to never evers, and that's usually that hierarchy is a level of strength, either intelligent, no, strength of intelligence, strength and force, whatever it may be. So usually the stronger the never ever, the higher the hierarchy. So while there isn't so much a pantheon per se, it is theorized that there is some sort of hierarchy between them.
Maybe like a agreement, an alliance instead of a pantheon. If they're subservient to each other based on strength, that's a mild agreement to work with each other. They sound territorial. Like
Yeah.
territory animals will establish their dominance based on strength.
Okay, so this guy was a prisoner? Is that what we were able to determine? He was probably a prisoner, but escaped and caused chaos?
So
he
he was
Go ahead.
a prisoner only loosely in the sense that he let himself be captured.
Because Beer had found that book that had the list of prisoners. And because I wrote that down. The last entry was, it just said it was a trickster, but it had no name. And it had like an ID number. So we don't know for sure if that guy is that entry, but...
Mm.
I'm pretty sure it was the same guy because if I recall correctly, there was a mention about him talking weirdly, which we definitely encountered until Alex gave up.
Listen, you can only rhyme so much before it gets tiring, okay? It's just,
Maybe he was just bored and let himself get caught so as he could further meddle.
So if we go find him and bring him in, think we'll get a reward for that?
Find him.
Well,
I
we're
should
2 days behind now.
And never ever.
I should
And bring him in.
I
Oh,
should
sorry.
also mention something that was also mentioned that I believe someone did a check. Is that there's various cults or people of beliefs that will take on the spirit or the essence of a never ever, kind of to align an agreement with them, and they would garner the power. So in return for power, the never ever would use their body for their own nefarious means.
Oh, like a conduit.
Exactly.
So maybe this guy invoked, we didn't really. Do we know which never ever he may have been associated with? It was Jester, but I guess with that knowledge, this guy, that was just who this person that they took over was. He certainly played into the character. Maybe that's as any I know not pantheon, but like deities and as such. Regardless of who they invoke, they do tend to maintain their personality.
Now, I guess the question I have, which is more of an out of game question, or is, are the never evers like their existence is common knowledge, but individual never evers, like, would we be aware of them, or is there just too many of them to count? Or
So most never evers remain unnamed. There are some never evers that have been named by others because of their general either sort of personality or some traits they have about themselves. But most never evers do not name themselves.
Are they? We encountered this one, and he showed obvious powers beyond normal mortal. Do never ever, or do we even know enough to be like, yeah, whatever's happening over there, that's a never ever? Is there something like that symbolizes their influence on, like in this realm? You said that according to Darian, is like, oh, never evers are from another plane, which means they have to plane walk. Here,
well,
is there ways like, oh look, I know in the in Frontiers there was like, we know very obviously they distort reality. Is that common type of thing?
That is the common trend between never evers, is that they have some sort of distortion either on reality or the area they're kind of lingering in.
In the days that we've been here, have any other parts, any of the other supply things, people arrived, like anyone from outside, like new. Why am I
Oh,
becoming
yeah.
so complicated? Outside news, has more people shown up? Could we ask them if they've heard of potential rumors of
Yeah, because there was
reality warping events?
4 or 5 cities that we're
Yeah.
sending. We
So
know of basically 2, ours and the Steelford or whatever.
Yeah, the one that we came
We
across.
took over. Did we have evidence of a third?
you did
I
not
don't
gain a
think
third.
we did.
It was just the 2 from Steelford and oh my gosh, I can't remember the name now. But yeah, you did have 2. Not a third. There is a third that did arrive. Let me check something. Let me check my notes real quick. So, if you were to ask them if there was any sort of weird going ons during their journey, the only thing that would have been mentioned is that there was an increasing number of hags when they were actually going through the mountain range,
Mm.
which is a little strange.
Yeah, we did encounter one,
I will
which is
also
where we met poor Arcanus.
I will also note something. Um, especially in this area of the world. Um, actually, let's see. For anybody who is trained in it, can roll a cult for me. Well, shit.
Deserved.
You both critically succeed. You both know for a fact that when thinking about hags, most hags usually end up in Valkyria or Renshire. Nora does occasionally have its sightings of hags. Usually, it's like an ice hag or something of that sort. Hearing about there being a larger influx of hags is very strange for Nora.
Almost like they'd be artificially induced.
Warped
That's,
influence
you can make any assumptions you
assumptions.
like. You make any assumptions you like with that information. That's what you know.
So where are they from?
Valkyria or can't remember the other one.
Renshire.
Check. Okay.
So they're coming here for a reason?
Or they're being
They're appearing here.
Are they escaping something?
I don't know if you could go to Nora to escape.
the conditions for their either the conditions for their creation are more prevalent here. Actually, that's a good question to ask. Do I know how a hag would be created or how they would come about?
Babies.
I
That's
feel
you.
like Siri would actually know better, but
Just a really, really old, angry woman.
I think Seer might actually be the only one that knows this.
yeah, he has undead lore, so
That's going to be relevant. A hag seer, you would know with your undead lore. I'm going to give this to you because you have undead lore. A hag is created. Most times there are some exceptions to the rule. A hag is created when the essence of a never ever is put into a dead person's body, usually female.
And like left there. Like, does it never ever leave there? And it just the thing that remains a hag. Like,
It's not so much a never ever in general. It's just the essence of a never ever. Somehow it is manifested in a way where it's gathered, and then it is in the body itself is imbued with this essence of a never ever.
okay. And the thing that remains, people have called a hag.
Correct.
generally known as a hag.
Okay.
Okay, so with that information, it does seem like it sounds more likely that there is
No.
a being going around creating hags.
Or popping
Or-
into reality, leaving hags behind. That sounds like a clue. That's a clue, gang. Let's split up.
That may
What's
not be a
Bernie?
good idea when you're fighting
What?
splitting up.
Yeah, you said something after that?
When we're
May not be
fighting,
a good idea when fighting never evers.
Oh. I was just making a stupid Scooby-Doo reference.
I know.
Nothing bad ever happens to the Scooby Gang.
No, never.
It's just that Fred and Wanda often have to go investigate the bedroom.
It's good. The hallway, please. PG. PG.
Um,
Yes, the hallway.
it's
If
quite the assumption that Black Lotus is the one making the eggs, but
right, but something is if that's the most common method of a hag, and if there's no real reference to hags being a common Nora occurrence, it's something to look into.
Sirius asking why Black Lotus? Why is the Black Lotus making hags?
Black Lotuses?
Well, it's quite the assumption. We have no real evidence Black Lotus is actually doing anything.
Oh, I'm sorry, Siri. Did you say something about maybe the Black Lotus is doing hags?
He's in Discord as well. So.
Oh, yeah. I don't see why the Black Lotus would be involved.
there was no mention
But-
of the Black Lotus being involved. You were involved with them at a certain point.
Yes.
That was temporary.
Sierra's just saying something in Discord.
Well, they do have a lot of information and stuff, but
Was Black Lotus a information broker? Potentially? I'm not part of the Black Lotus. I know one of us, or recall one of us has potential association, but at this point we're trying to pull information. If Black Lotus could be a information broker resource, I don't why
Beer's
they wouldn't.
I believe Beer's the one with the connection to the Black Lotus.
Okay, so I feel like we're missing something.
I mean, we have a clue as far as like in potential never ever influence and why they would be here.
I also have a question for you, Baker.
Mhm.
The last 2 days you've been busy kind of just getting everything together. Today though, would you do any medical examinations on the individuals that are currently in some?
I'm just trying to. I'm
What?
trying to make sure they're all a-okay.
Okay.
Oh, Baker, yeah, I can, as long as it's on a daily occurrence, I can assist with alchemical infusion drinking. I ain't no doctor, but I can be the pharmacist.
For the record, I would have absolutely gone through and put everyone in interesting and compromising positions.
I would undo your thing
Like the
to
two
put them
guys-
back in there. I would put them back immediately because that's
A little mean.
yes. Because I'm
Whatever,
trying to
whatever, you
examine
guys
them.
cuddling
It's
and
really hard to
kissing.
examine them in odd positions.
Yeah, Annie's over here in Pretzel Land.
I
I
will.
guess I'll be honest. Go ahead, Alex.
That's okay. I will say if you're kind of like doing these examinations as you're all kind of having this discussion, you'll suddenly come to the realization of something with these people, and I will DM it to you. Give me 1 second, please.
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Now that you finally got to examine these individuals.
I mean, I wouldn't do anything mean or hurtful. Put them in funny positions.
Well, as long as it's not going to cause some pain,
Like the two guys that fell asleep in the kitchen are now spooning. You know, with that.
playing cards. That was fun.
Oh yeah, you put some people. They were playing cards, and then I think you had one of them cheating.
Yep. Of course, I think at that point, I figured they'd wake up sooner than.
Yeah.
You would come to that revelation now that you've actually been able to magically examine them.
Oh shit!
I would honestly say they're under some form of curse or something because there's no sleep spell that would last that long.
Guys, did I tell you about the kid with the ticking clock for a heart back in the other
No.
city?
I don't remember that.
I vaguely remember that.
I don't think you actually told anybody about it.
Oh yeah, no,
You,
that's
you're
true.
not telling anybody about
Oh yeah,
that, by the way.
because other people in the party that could have been helpful, but
Other people in the party,
Yeah.
what?
other people had in the party had information or abilities that would have been helpful in the situation, but it was never actually passed on.
Because I didn't know it was that severe at that point. Because I didn't know.
Sure.
I think every single one of these people here that's unconscious has a clock for a heart, if I were to say.
Wait, what?
When it
Wait,
comes
what?
to the beat of their heart, it sounds like a clock.
Do you mean like that's what you hear or have seen?
That's what you're hearing.
Here,
Here
like every single one of them.
is on the
It's
same
like a
like
tick,
tick.
tick, tick.
Is this like a new?
Tick.
Is this like a new sort of science for someone to have a ticking heart?
No, I don't know what it is exactly. Oh wait, I did tell our unconscious friend about the ticking heart
Right.
because they were there with me.
So
Well, someone. Who'd you tell? The
Oh,
unconscious one.
Yes.
so do
he-
you know do you know anything about this or
All I know is those with the ticking heart, it's uncurable and they die.
by the way, that
Sure.
individual,
Yeah.
Arcanus, is over in this room over here.
Does Arcanus have the ticking heart as well?
You'll have to go examine him to find out.
Well, that's not acceptable.
I am rushing over.
I will
wanted-
unpause now
I do
for the team to move if they wish.
Yippee.
I actually think Arcanus was the one that knew the most about it, which is also
Other door,
Um,
other door. This way, this way, this way, this way. Over here.
Yes, I thought they were connected.
That might be too many people in the room. I will stand out here, or I will stand in the door.
You go ahead. Are you going to examine Arcanus?
100%.
Okay.
Pick
You
an
don't need
assist.
to. You do not need to roll for this, because he has his armor taken off and he lays in his bed, breath shallow. You check his heart and realize it is the loudest sound of a ticking clock you have ever heard yet.
Oh, we can't ignore it. Oh no. Actually, yeah, that doesn't bother me at all.
Crap.
And something happens while you do.
Uh-oh.
As you hear the ticking of this clock resounding in your ears as you use the stethoscope to check, at a sudden pace, the ticking stops, and so does Arcanus's breath.
No.
Oh.
I'm going to try and resuscitate, even though it may be not worth it. I'm going to try and resuscitate.
Nothing works.
Sense.
You use spirit sense. There's nothing there to sense.
So even
If-
though we, per the agreement, won our fight, one of our compatriots and others, as we've been informed, Tick, are still going to the best of our knowledge, are dead or dying.
He said he
Yes,
would leave.
they're dying.
He said he would leave. He never said anything beyond that.
That is most inhospitable.
If you would
I
be,
don't
all be so,
appreciate-
if you all be so kind, if you double click on Arcanus, because
No.
as you look over him, Baker, you will watch a few slips of paper slip out from him.
I will hand out the letters if they have names to them.
They each have a
Okay.
name to them. If you
I
double click
hand
on
out-
Arcanus, you will find a letter to each of you.
Ah,
Oh no.
well then. Okay. That is touching.
Aw.
You see small tears running down my face. I just stand up, put my helmet on, and says, it's raining outside. And I just walk away outside to breathe.
As you look out the window, it is starting to rain.
Ooh, rare.
A rare thing found in Nora. Well, usually it snows. As you look out the window, it is indeed starting to rain. So,
Hmm.
for most, if not all of you, some of that should also have some information for at least some clues as well. That will give you a moment to kind of do what you need to do.
Long.
Well,
Hmm. We encountered. Was that a hag that had him imprisoned?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think Seer got his letter. It's still in.
It is Seer is I don't know. Seer, are you okay, buddy?
I can take it and give it to him.
He's moving. He's moving.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
he's.
Never mind.
Oh, there he is.
I'm gonna. You guys done.
Daggett.
I'm going to. Oh, there's only one. I thought there was two copies. He had a silver piece. I took one. I'm gonna take one from mine and just put like the 2 coins covering his eyes. You know,
All right. Fair enough.
aim into the. Yeah, and I'm not gonna take anything from him.
Hmm.
Wait, no. Before I leave, because of what he said, I'm also gonna. I put the coins on his eyes, and I look up and just gives like the biggest finger, and then I'll walk away.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
What? Hmm.
So I take it above board. Arcanus won't be playing with us anymore.
Oh, they will.
At least not as Arcanus.
Not as
It
Arcanus.
won't be Arcanus, yeah.
Okay, well, good.
This character,
It's a good character.
his character has come to the end of their adventure.
Well, based on the letter I got, this was always going to happen. So it was just a matter of when.
Additionally, Z, I have more fun news for you.
Mm-hmm.
Shortly after this, you get a message in owl form. It reads
And-
that this actually comes from I forgot the goblin's name, but the goblin leader that was looking over your manor.
Mm-hmm.
I had him somewhere, but I'll find it later. But long and short
Yeah.
is they have sent you a letter informing you that weird things have been happening around the manor. Additionally,
Hmm.
there has been stories going around recently that there is some sort of weird famine going on, and the locals believe it has something to do with the hag.
Huh. Okay, well, I'll share this with the party. All right, this hag situation, I'm over it now. We need to solve this.
Okay.
Here's the fun part, and this is where you all have to make a choice, each of you individually.
Mhm.
This is where things branch. On one side, you can explore further and go potentially go after the Joke Weaver or any chaos that he's leaving behind. Kind of, you'd obviously help things here at Fort Snow Range, kind of get things up to date, especially as the caravans start to come in. Or, likely equally as important, you can go after this potential hag problem that seems to have its focus around where Z got their manor. That's another issue completely. So, you all can take the time to discuss it. Each one is just as important. You can either split the group, some will take on this potential growing hag problem, or take on the Joke Weaver and track him down. I'll leave the choice to you, but those are your 2 options. You can either go ahead and take one as a group, one or the other, or you can split the group as well. The cons and pros to each is that if you split the party and one group take on the Joke Weaver while one takes on the hags, is you will get the full scope of what is likely going on. So while you're splitting the group, you'll get you'll likely get every possible detail, which will help you figure out what's going on. On the flip side of that, if you don't break up the group, obviously, no, you all will still get stay together, and it'll make things easier for one potential cause. However, the flip side to that, you may not get all the information that you're looking for. So, if you need some time, obviously, to think about it, you can do so. But those are your choices.